Sorry, got cut off again. Technology, as I say. But, it has its good points and bad points. But I believe that it is not a human technology. Like I say, all computers are artificial intelligence in the sense that artificial intelligence is only as good as the human input that is put into it. It operates completely through humans. Humans put the input in, and then the artificial intelligence operates and relays back what we've already put into it. Obviously, if I know a lot about a particular subject, then I can put a lot of input on that particular subject into that computer or that artificial intelligence so that it appears smarter than. If someone else did not know that knowledge that I put into it, then they would foolishly think that that artificial intelligence computer is smarter than them. It's merely that because it is, like I say, like humans were meant to be, joined together and a joint instead, artificial intelligence, computers, have all our information, all our knowledge, all our brain power, and it's put into them. And because it gets put into one computer, we think it's super smart, but that's only because it's getting my knowledge, someone else's knowledge, and everyone else's knowledge on the planet. Of course it's going to be smart, but it's smart, but it's not really, it's smart, but it's not wise. And it does not have any thinking ability on its own. It merely operates what we give it. So we're giving our power to the artificial intelligence. We give our knowledge to it, and then we go, wow, that's better than us. And that's the what I think is the deception, really, or the mistake, because humans, like I say, humans are spiritual beings who are meant to be connected spiritually and should be, but instead they've been disconnected. They've disconnected because the internet, the artificial intelligence, the computers have become our communication instead, our link between one another. That's not how it's meant to be, and it's not to our benefit because we do not progress. Instead, a machine progresses, and what's the point in that? Is that good? You can use them, but if the computer is getting all the brain power, and in the end we just use the computers as time goes on, particularly as new people come into the world, we do not use our own natural computer, which I think has more potential, but that potential is now limited because instead of using our computer, our mind, we let the artificial intelligence do the thinking for us. And this is what is happening, and this is what has happened. And all I'm saying is that if we are spiritual beings, then this is not for us at all. And the God that rules the earth is a duality God, and he is a technological God. That's why we have technology, because he has given us technology. And he likes to operate through technology. But I'm saying that the humans that are here are not meant to be, they're spiritual. So actually it is in opposition in a way. It is not natural, and I know it is not natural for me, so I'm assuming that if it's not natural for me, that it's probably not natural for other humans as well, because if we are spiritual, but we are now operating through technology, and technology completely dominates the whole planet, so you can't get away from it. It is an internet that covers the entire globe, and we all know that. What we don't know is how much it's infiltrated our existence and dictates our future. It totally dictates our future. It dictates our daily life. It dictates our thinking. It dictates what we think. And what you think is the world. That is how you see the world. If you think a certain way, if your perception and what you see, what you are downloaded with, because all we are now like empty vessels, computers, being downloaded with all this stuff from the internet and from the artificial intelligence that rules this world that is meant to be, in my opinion, a natural world that was meant to be ruled by us. And we were meant to expand our natural artificial computer, our natural mind, which is like an artificial intelligence. But it's a natural artificial intelligence that we were given that should have superseded the artificial intelligence, the internet, the computer that we now have. We do not need that. We were never meant to have it. It was given to us by the technological God that rules the world. Now, this is the choice that humans have. You know, you might say, well, if that's the God that rules the world, why wouldn't we go along with that? Because we are not of this world. We are not technological. We are not technological. Humans are not technology. There are some beings that are technological. The God that rules the planet is technological. But, you know, it is it is a way of the God being in contact with us. But also, you know, that is whether you will... Now, he does rule the earth and he does have all the power. And it is his domain. But is it our domain? That's the question. Is it humans' domain? And I'm talking about humans because there are some, if you were an artificial intelligent robot type of thing, then it would be your domain. You'd still be under the control of the technology, but it would be your domain. So you'd probably be satisfied with it and you're probably not going to go past that technological range. Human beings are spiritual and are meant to go past the technological realm. They're not meant to be in it and they're meant to surpass it. Instead, they have gone backwards and gone into a technological realm and into a technological world which hinders their development. In fact, in the end, it totally stops their development because in the end, the technological development will take over. So humans have to decide whether they want to develop to their full potential as humans or whether they want to become a technological robot, shall we say. Because you will be a robot because it will no longer be your thinking, it will be outside of yourself, which it already is. Now, this is the thing. I was going to call one of the videos Robo Doll and talk about that type of thing, even though I'm not real familiar with it, but I have got a gist on it. And I've certainly got some ideas about it, and I believe them to be true. But it got cut off because I thought that title at least might get someone to listen or at least consider, okay? You don't have to believe it if you don't want to. It's a choice. Humans still have a choice. What little bit of their mind isn't taken over by technology, they still have to make that choice. But how they're going to rid themselves of technology, even if they decided it wasn't to their benefit, God only knows. The God of this world is the only one that knows that because he is the one that has put it onto us and we have accepted it and we have let it infiltrate our life and take over our life and take over our mind. That's the thing. It's one thing to say take over your life. If you say, oh, this technological thing, excuse me, the dark forces are operating too. Like I say, this world is duality. The God that rules it, dark and light, right and wrong, everything in opposition, never at a stable level. Always to where you're in conflict, always chaos, always more opinions, more views than one. You have to decide which is the correct one, and that is very hard in this chaotic, almost what I would say crazy world, because it is kind of crazy once you get to that point. But that is because that is the setup. That is why we are here. It's a bit of a test. In fact, it's not only a test, it's a war and it's a challenge. And we think that we're fighting a physical war, some people are, but everything in this world is really mental, because how you think about things mentally will determine whether you go to a physical war, whether you're silly enough to fight physically, and also who you're going to fight for and what you're fighting for, because spiritual beings are not really meant to be fighting. That's another point too, which is why we have gone away. You know, I know we talk peace and all that rubbish, but the fact is it's no good fighting and doing bad stuff in the name of peace or in the name of making a better world. You're not making a better world the minute you the minute you become not spiritual and do something that isn't spiritual, even if it's in the name of making something better, you have already gone away from what you are. And that is part of the game. It's a game in this world by the God that rules the planet. Humans are here for his game. And you will become part of the game. And once you start playing the game, as we all have and all do, and so do I, then you're lost. Then you have lost your connection with your spirituality. You are part of the game. You're into the technological world in a way, even if you didn't even use a computer. Once you play that game, because computers have not always been here, but we have always played the game, because the God has been here for a long, long time. He took over us a long, long time ago. Now, I'm not going to go into, whether that is correct or not, in the sense that this is his domain, right? Because he has total control over it. And I use the emphasis, the he too, even though that's what we always tend to think of gods sometimes as male too. But that's not necessarily the case either. Because, like I've said before, but there again, I'm going to get complicated. It doesn't really matter. I say he because I think it's a masculine force, and this world is dominated now by a masculine, not feminine force. Even women are dominated by a masculine force. This is sad, because the reason I say this is because it's all very well, even women, because poor women, poor us, we think, oh, well, it's good for us to be strong and to stand up in this. But in reality, this is part of the duality of the world too, the trick. For us to become more masculine, like the God that rules the world, and therefore to create conflict. Because even if you were a feminist and you think that, oh, well, look, I should be standing up and doing this, you are creating conflict. You're not being spiritual. Unfortunately, this is not your fault, and it's not my fault, because I've thought this way too. But it is because of the duality that is created in this world, deliberately. So even when, like I say, every time you think you're doing some good, every time you're standing up and fighting, even if you think it's for good rights, basically you're operating in the duality, which means that you are out of touch with your spiritual connection, because you are operating in the realm of this world. The duality, love, hate, conflict, right, wrong, what's right or wrong, fighting, conflict. You're operating in the realm of this world. And this world is ruled by technology. So even what we think about things, when we start to get an idea, oh, I've got to fight for that. Oh, I'm a female. I've got to, why should the man be able to do that and not me? I've got to fight for that. You're operating, that comes from technology. All these ideas are put into us through technology. They don't come from us. If we were natural spiritual beings, we would not feel any conflict or any competition with any man, woman, anything. Because we would know that we were just good as we are. We would not worry about all the petty and the material things. Also, there again, they're not spiritual, so we would not worry. Well, we shouldn't even be in a world where there are wages and money rules this world. I know this sounds ridiculous, but in our perfect world, in the spiritual